What's up, guys, and welcome back to episode 26 of the Founder Academy. Amazing, 26 episodes. I'm so happy. We're past the quarter century mark, which is not something that honestly I was expecting to be at. You know, I've been pretty happy with, I guess, myself for the amount of content that I've been pumping out the last little bit. I've, tried to be really diligent about like the amount of videos that I'm putting out and making sure that it's really regular content and everything like that, because I do want to continue this momentum into FIFA 21. My plan for FIFA 21 is going to be, I'm going to do two series. I want to continue this series, the Founder Academy, which is where I put money, I guess, into my main account. I'm going to try to scale it back even from this year. Like every year I've tried to put less and less on the game because I don't really think you need to. But at the same time, I'm not going to say that I won't put any money on it. I do generally at the start and then maybe some of the promotions throughout the year. But, for the most part, I'm just going to try to play the game and have fun with it. And then I want a second series, which is more of a road to glory, but I want to do it really dedicated to the casuals. That was what I wanted this series to be, but I was already halfway through. I put some money in it. The casuals series, which is going to be like how to build your ultimate team, is really going to cater to like detailing what I'm doing and showing you guys how you can play this, and you don't have to play it regularly in order to do it. So one of the things that I've noticed about a lot of content creators is they're content creators. They create this stuff like on a regular basis, and they put like 8, 10, 12 hours a day into like creating these series, and next thing you know, they've got like icons all over their team and you're a week into FIFA. So that's not what I want my series to be about. The amount of people that I see playing this game that are like casual fans, I want them to feel like there's somebody that's listening to them and putting out content that they can relate to, I guess. So that's kind of where I'm dedicating my efforts for FIFA 21. It's going to be it's not a second channel, it's going to be on a second profile that I have on my PlayStation. So we use that a little bit in, I think it was FIFA 17 or FIFA 18 whenever I started this channel. We kind of did that, but we started halfway through, and then when the new FIFA came out, I was working a full-time job, so I kind of let that fall by the wayside, which was my fault. So anyway, that's kind of my plan for FIFA 21, which is why we're doing a post-com right now. I am going to go back to like doing some live comms and some post-coms and just mixing up the content so you guys have a bit of variety for this series. But I just wanted to kind of get that stuff out of the way, a little housekeeping, before we jump into what is going to be some gameplay. So what this episode is about, not about, but like what this episode has in it is, at the very start, you guys saw some of my rewards. They were really junk. I think this was the only player that I got for my rewards, which was the 84 Arthur. Because I didn't play in FUT Champs, I wasn't able to play FUT Champs, didn't have any rewards on Thursday. And then I actually thought I was rank 3, and I guess I wasn't paying attention, and I slipped down to rank 4, which is really frustrating because it's like a moving scale, right? So if you don't play, you end up slipping into a different rank, which is really frustrating. I wish they would just change that so you kind of know where you're just at, because you could be at like rank 1, and then if you don't play after whatever day that is, you could slip all the way down a couple ranks, and next thing you know, you're not getting the rewards that you were expecting. So that's what happened to me, and unfortunately at rank 4, I must have only played a couple games. I didn't get any points towards my FUT Champs. So unfortunately, I don't know if I'm even going to get into FUT Champs at all for the rest of this game cycle, just because the amount of points you get for like draws and losses and stuff is so minimal. It's like 20 points or 11 points or whatever, and I basically need 1,000. And even when you win, it's like 80 points, right? And to get wins in Division 4 and even right now Division 5, it's just been very challenging. So I don't know when this happened, but I must have slipped down to rank 5 at some point. I didn't even realize it. So I think this game is actually a Division 5 game. But at this stage in FIFA, not to make excuses or anything, but like Division 5 is actually really, really good at this point. Because when you think of the overall pie of players, right, when there's more lower tiered players, it's easier for guys to get wins, and they all kind of jet up into Division 1. But if you've only got really hardcore players playing in Division 1, 2, and 3, somebody's got to lose. Somebody's got to draw. So guys are dropping down. So the natural order of things, guys are dropping into divisions that they're probably not truly in. Like myself, like I dropped into Division 5. I consider myself kind of a Div 3 during the peak of FIFA. Probably would be my guess. And then kind of Div 3, Div 4, I guess, type of player. But right now I'm in Division 5 and I'm coming up against really good opponents, right? So anyway, into this actual video, like we'll get into this game in a second. The very start, you guys saw I did the Alexis Sanchez SBC. Now, I don't have a Serie A team. I have no interest in building a Serie A team, but Alexis Sanchez is a player that I've always liked using on FIFA, and I know that card's going to be crap. I just look at it, and I just think, like, at this stage in FIFA, even though the stats have really been jacked up, he's not going to be fantastic. Like, there's just so many other meta cards that are so much better than him, but I guess I just did him for kind of nostalgic purposes, and yeah, he's been okay. I've just used him a little bit more so offline, but even offline, he was very average. But the last game that I played with him, he was actually quite good. He felt quite energetic, and I felt that pace that I didn't feel in the first couple games. So he's very hit and miss, I guess is probably the best way for me to put it. And it's funny because I was watching a lot of reviews of that card, and that's what a lot of other people said, is he's just not really that consistent. I think when you come up against super meta teams, he's not the guy that you want. He's kind of one of those guys that you can bring on as a super sub against some lower tiered teams, and he'll kind of go in there. But I think it's just more, again, nostalgic than anything. I don't necessarily recommend doing him. I did him with a whole bunch of untradables. I think he cost me, I don't know, 20k maybe. And also, I think he's actually one of the showdown cards. So if Inter win, he might get jacked up to 95. I'm not positive on that. You guys would probably know better than I would. But if he gets jacked up to 95, that would be even better. So I'd even be happier with doing that SBC, knowing that he goes up to 95, because it really affected the Phil Foden card. And I think this card is good, but it could be that much better if they improve them even more. So you saw that, and then you saw my rewards. My rewards were junk, obviously. For getting rank 4, you're not going to get anything super crazy. And then we jump into games. So there's 4 games in this. We played 2 division rivals games, and then I played a friendly, an online friendly, which I just want to show you guys for like the variety of like why I might start playing more of those. And then we end up with another division rivals game. So this is the first one we played. This guy was a really good player. As you guys see, he went up 2-1. He scored very late. I don't think he deserved the win. I don't think he deserved to lose by any means. I know you guys are probably used to me saying this guy wasn't very good and he doesn't deserve to win. I think this guy was a really good player. I don't think he was the best player I played in this video, to be totally honest with you, and I'm pretty honest about that stuff. Like, I don't consider myself the best player in every game, but at the same time, I know, I've played enough FIFA that I'm, I left my ego, I checked my ego a long time ago, so I'm not super concerned with, like, saying that I'm the best FIFA player ever, but, he was a really good player. I think that was a game that probably deserved a draw, to be totally honest with you, but that's my fault. I guess you could say, for allowing the goal. I was frustrated in the sense that he basically just got 2 chances and they both flew in. So after that, I went into this game against this guy, and of course, these are just the teams you're facing now. It's just meta card after meta card after meta card after team after team after team. Like, you're not going to get any weak teams at this point in FIFA. Everybody's got a jacked up squad, and they're just all monsters. And everybody they're going to play in Rivals, I've said this before, but, skill-based matchmaking is not my favorite thing. I think Rivals has a place, but because it's essentially one of the only game modes that you can play, I just don't like the fact that it's really the only thing to play midweek, just because skill-based matchmaking is exhausting. I don't mind, again, having it as part of the variety, but when there's nothing else, there is no variety. So right now, my team is playing in this game, and, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I'm going to. But they were getting morale pretty hard. You guys can see by just like the speed of the shots. Like, I'm not talking about my opponent's team at all. I'm not talking about the things that my opponent's doing, but just small things like this. You could see just like the bounces, they were just falling to him, and he ends up scoring a goal. But it wasn't even so much that. It was more like the power of the shots of my team. So like after the first half, I think this guy, it took me a little while to figure him out, but once I figured him out, I felt pretty confident. So the first half was pretty fair. Like their perfect example. Like, I thought I created a half decent chance there, shooting opportunity with 96 Aguero, and he just flies it over the net. So after that first half, sorry, my eye is really itchy. After that first half, I thought that my team they weren't stuck in mud, because I'd only lost that one game. And I've said this before, you can go in with one loss, with my theory on morale, you can go in with one loss. But if I took another loss or another draw, they're going to start to play a lot worse. So you guys will see throughout this video what I'm basically talking about. But After that first game, they just were a little bit off after this game. They were still okay, but, based on the concept of morale, as you guys can see here, he just sprints offside. So by the time I play the ball, he's offside. Small things like that, but it was more so like the shooting power. I'd created a bunch of chances, and just the shot power of my guys, like even there, like that shot was just crazy. But the shot power of my guys for the most part were quite poor. Like they were just under hitting things. The ball was like bouncing a lot, so it wouldn't be able to generate any power. And then in the second half, I kind of figured my opponent out. I knew what to do, in the sense that I was just playing sweatier, to be totally honest with you. I just didn't let him touch the ball. I had to do a lot of those cutbacks, cut back and forth, like weaving and stuff like that. So essentially just not let him anywhere near the ball. And I could feel the DDA for my team just improve, like massively. Like they just got so much better. And I was able to score with Maradona. Maradona's got a 3-star weak foot. This was my fault. That was a terrible pass. I don't know what I was doing. I mean, I know that if I would have continued on Maradona's left, I could see his keeper's positioning. He would have stopped it, but at least I would have got a shot away. I ended up playing, that was my fault, playing Sergio Aguero offside there, and it ended up giving the ball away. He had a couple late chances in the game here, so I got a little lucky, but I think, again, that was just the DDA, because I was holding so much possession. Like the second half, I just ended up killing this guy in terms of possession, and I could just feel my team get so much better. So I had a couple chances that I kind of squandered late. I thought I had another one here. He actually marked the runs quite well, and I got a little flustered and kind of screwed that chance up. I should have done a fake shot, I guess, there. But, I thought Maradona probably was going to be able to get that shot away because I had him beat, but his Sol Campbell came across and got this like diving foot in late. So, again, I don't know what my opponent was feeling in that game. Maybe he was coming in with some morale or something after taking loss. But, my team was really poor. And then in the second half, I just abused the tactics and slowed the game down and just played really sweaty. Really, that was all it was. I just played like super sweaty, and we got a draw out of it. So the draw is not good in the sense that my team's going to play worse and worse and worse. You can tell just, De Jong there doesn't necessarily have the best shooting stats, so I'm not going to use that as the best example. But, they were playing a little bit bogged down, but this guy was an okay opponent, so it created some problems for me. And now we are at a loss and a draw, and my team is now at a point where essentially they're getting handicapped. But if I lost this game, I went into like an online friendlies match where you're getting a lot more variety. So I was just hoping I would come up against a weaker opponent, because it would be a way for me not to have to take them offline to get their morale back up. But instead I can do this online against an opponent. So I know the team's going to play bad. Again, I just have to hope that this guy's not a great player. I saw the Johan Cruyff thing, and I was thinking, don't read into a whole lot of that. But, the guy obviously has played a lot of FIFA recently, because you have to in order to unlock the Johan Cruyff thing already at this point. I think a lot of that you can do offline. But still, you still have to play quite a few games. I play quite a bit of FIFA, and I haven't unlocked him. I think I actually just unlocked him today, so that might be a lie. But anyway, we come up against this guy. The only bad thing about like online friendlies is it doesn't show you his team. So I'm just kind of seeing his team now. Like, I'm seeing the guys that he's using. Kessie, Manolas. He did have the team of the season, Ilicic at striker, but he wasn't a great player. Again, no offense. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just calling a spade a spade. And he ends up scoring that. And then that was so frustrating for me, because as you guys saw with my Aguero chance, like, did the ball roll, cut back or drag back, caught him on the inside, had a perfect angle, and my guy ends up like doing a fingertip save with his Szczesny. So I told you guys, morale, your team's going to play like crap, and that's exactly what happened. He gets one chance, and the ball just flies into the net. Of course, no stop from Ter Stegen. Most people are going to say, oh, well, you shouldn't have allowed that. You shouldn't have done this. And he had a good angle. Look, it's a half-ass shooting opportunity, so I get it. I'm not upset at him. He took his chance. But as you guys will see here, like, look, I just wait him out, patient, near post finish. That's Maradona's left foot. Perfect power, near post. 9 times out of 10 that goes in. But again, because my guys are getting slightly handicapped because of the morale, his keeper is going to make a shoulder or fingertip stop there again. Even off the corners, here, like, he didn't defend this that well. Kind of a half chance there. But again, coincidence? No, it's not a coincidence. It bangs off the post, right? But I felt confident I was going to get back in this game. Essentially, I just changed my team into ultra attacking. But even there, like Maradona, you guys see, like, instead of him taking the ball down, putting it at his foot, and hammering it. He takes it, it bounces. It gives him an opportunity to kind of move the key, or not necessarily move his keeper, but like a really good player would have had a chance to kind of get back or get a guy into a better position or change player to the center back and actually be able to put a block in there. But, even then, the shot was just on the volley. It was bouncing up. Like, he didn't take it in a smart fashion. And he underhits it, so the keeper's not even parrying this for a corner. Like, how many times do you guys see a shot from there where the keeper even parries for a corner? He just caught it, right? So they're underhitting shots. However, I was able to score one where, I went through with Aguero, and like, this isn't even half the chances. Like, I was just killing this guy by this point. And I don't know what his team was doing here. So, like, he was just getting murked. He was pulling his players all over the place. He was just chasing like a chicken with his head cut off. Like, he didn't have any structure to his team. Like, his players were he was pulling them all out of position. It was very easy. You can see he's just diving in there. And like, even there, like, the guy was running across out of the way, and he drags his foot and blocks the shot with a dragging foot. Like, it was just dumb stuff like that. But I'm not too worried about it. We're going to be able to score a couple goals against this guy just because he wasn't the greatest. You guys can see it's quite easy for me to just dismantle him. I walked up the field and made it 3-1, and then he ends up quitting, right? So, not a terrible player by any means. He just wasn't, he's not like a Division 1 or Division 2 guy, so we were able to kind of, get a pretty easy win there. But again, I had to abuse the tactics. I had to get my team in like a team press, and I had to go very aggressive because that was the only way to wake them out of their slumber, right? And I've said this so many times, playing FIFA at this stage, everybody's abusing tactics, and tactics just create so much of the result, right? Like, it's so much of the result. It's not even funny, and it's one of the things that I've just been so frustrated with FIFA in general, is because it's not a true representation of who's a better football mind or who's a better gamer or who's a better FIFA player. It's really half of the skill with FIFA is who can abuse the tactics the best, right? So anyway, that was that. I'm not going to sit there moaning about it. We do get a win. I'm happy with the win. And then we come up against this guy. As soon as I saw the team of the season Maradona, or team of the season Ronaldo, I thought, oh no, this is not good. This guy's going to be a monster. He has some red cards as well, but they're not really team of the season reds, I guess. So like, I wasn't super worried about it, but like, you can see at the very start of this game, like, the balls that were just bouncing to him, the magnet ball was really strong. My players were feeling quite good, but he was just getting a lot of luck with the touches that my players were taking. They were taking heavy touches. You guys might have seen Maradona. I tried to play an L1 pass back, and it didn't register. So when I was turning to go up, it actually turned and made the pass forward. So it was small, frustrating things like that. His Ribery had like about 3 magnet balls that went back to him, and I was just really frustrated with that. But, he didn't necessarily take his chances there. You guys can see that. Like, that looked like a really heavy touch that wasn't necessarily his fault. So it was really back and forth. He owned probably most of the first half, I guess, and then in the second half, I just started to, play my game, and again, just slow it down, play super sweaty, hold possession, and I caught him really off guard there. Beautiful 1-2 between Aguero and Maradona. I was really happy with that. And when I scored, you guys can get mad at me all you want, but look, at this point, I knew what was going to happen. This guy was just going to play like super sweaty. This was my fault. I went near post, should have went far with the finesse, but I just screwed that shot up myself. But this guy essentially paused it, and I knew that he was just going to start screwing around with his tactics. He loved a good drag back. I got very lucky there with the shot. He kept doing that drag back over and over and over with Ronaldo, and for some reason, my defenders were just overcompensating so hard. Like, I couldn't defend it. But you can tell by how aggressive his team is here that, like, the DDA for his players, there you go, nutmeg. And I'm very lucky again there that, Eder Militao was able to read that. It didn't warp through him. So, like, it was really kind of back and forth. But this guy was just heavy tactic abuse at this point. I actually thought I had another goal here. He manually moved his keeper. There wasn't really much I could do. I probably could have fake shot it and tried to just, like, round the keeper. But, that's a really risky move at this point. I thought I was just, best suited to just try to smash it away. But you guys can see, like, this was basically the entire, from 60 minutes on. He just went, like, high pressure, constant pressure, team press, overload ball. Like, he just went everything. So I just had to sweat it out that entire half. I didn't even worry about attacking. Those last 2 chances that I had were really just from me creating or holding a lot of possession, and it opened up his back line. I was able to kind of create 2 half chances. But other than that, honestly, guys, I just had to like see it out. I had to, as the FIFA community likes to say, tass it about. There you go, 3-5-2 or 3. What he was doing, whatever he was doing, 3-1-2-4-1, whatever the hell it was. But 3 at the back, all like just constant pressure, ultra attacking type. So really tactic abuse, really spammy, really ratty of him. But like, look, I had to play like a rat too. I had to just hold possession and just keep the ball away from him, because if I made any type of risky pass, his team would have intercepted, because I tried that a couple times. They intercept it and they're away on the counterattack. So unfortunately, I had to just play like, a POS and just hold possession. So I don't like playing like that, but that's what you're getting in divisions. Honestly, man, you're getting that every division. So it's not fun. That's what FIFA has become. But the only reason I was doing that was to try to get some rewards, because I want to get back in FUT Champs. But again, I don't know if I have the patience or the mental wherewithal to like go through that to get the amount of points that I need in order to play FUT Champs. Like, it's just going to be a nightmare to try to get back into it. So I might just play online friendlies. I'm not sure. I might mix it up and see how much progress I can make. But other than that, like at this point, I'm just not super concerned about it. But that is going to be the end of the episode. I did do today's SBC. It was terrible. The more money and the more effort you have to put into SBCs, the worse the reward's going to get. This is a rare mega pack, and look at this. Like, look what I get. So I don't recommend doing these, guys. Like, I've been really disappointed with the content that they've put out for this re-release of all the big cards. I haven't gotten any of them, right? So like, they've been really stingy with them, and I just think that's really lame of EA. They've been still trying to like control the market, and this stage in FIFA, it's just lame. But that is going to be the end of the episode, guys. So I appreciate you sticking with me to the very end. And until next time, guys, take care. Peace.